All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are all excited for tonight's game. I think we're going to catch that W. If you enjoy this video and you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm like 2 subscribers away from 1.3. I appreciate you guys so much if you're watching this video. If you come to any of the streams, I will be live later tonight on Swaggy's channel. So I hope you guys are enjoying the 4 to 6 videos a day. Obviously, when I go back to school in about a month, I will not be able to do this many videos. So I'm just doing me. I don't really care about the views or the ratings. But as long as it's not spamming you guys, let me know, and I'll continue to grind out all this content. So as I'm sure you're curious about the title, I think it's going to be why James Harden is the best player in the NBA. I'm introducing a new segment. So this segment is something I've kind of picked across other channels, across various sports. Basically, you guys give me a take, preferably on the spicier, hotter side, like why James Harden's the best player in the NBA. I also would prefer more Rockets talk. However, if I find a good NBA one, I definitely hop on and record that. But I want to make these as interactive as possible. So if I do end up picking your comment, I'll probably just respond and be like, hey, I'm going to do this one. Do you want to maybe get on with me? What would happen is, in the video you guys would watch, is it would be a couple of minutes of me briefing the situation, giving my opinion, and then we would get either you or someone like Swaggy, somebody like that, to come in and give the other side of it, and we just kind of debate that. So I think this would make it very interactive. I think you guys would like it. Obviously, it's going to require a lot of communication, so as of right now, if you're interested in this, go ahead and leave a hot take, or a spicier take, and if I decide to go with it, check the comments, check your page. We'll be in touch if you want to. If not, totally fine. That doesn't mean the video won't happen. Say I get one saying, James Harden's the worst player of all time, and you say, no, I don't want to come in. Thank you, though. You definitely don't have to. I'll still make the video. But I feel like this is a cool way to make it interactive if you guys were to want to come on and talk about these topics. Let's just get right into today's video, why James Harden's the best player in the NBA. So I disagree. I don't think that James Harden is the best player in the NBA. Maybe the best scorer in the NBA right now, but as far as I'm concerned, LeBron James is still wearing an NBA uniform. You guys know I'm from Chicago. This hurts me to say it, but LeBron James is the second best player ever to me. He's creeping up on first. In fact, even two more finals win, I'd say, this would be it would get very interesting as more finals he wins, especially this last season in the bubble, a very impressive win. It's getting harder and harder for me to, make MJ as all-time GOATs. I mean, records were meant to be broken, so no harm, no foul, but I don't think James Harden is the best player of the NBA. I do think it's LeBron James. Now, if we're talking scoring, I would have to agree. James Harden, ever since he came into Houston in 2012, about 8 years ago, he's been averaging almost 30 points per game. I mean, his lowest season average is 25.4. I believe that was in the 2013-2014 season, and by no means is 25.4 points per game not going to cut it. That is fantastic. Those are fantastic numbers. In fact, I always think it's kind of funny when I say in a video I think James Harden's the third best shooting guard scorer of all time. Obviously, MJ, Kobe, James Harden is where I'd go. And then you've got all these guys saying, what about Dwayne Wade? What about AI? Well, cool. Good for them. They can be in the list too. That doesn't mean James Harden still isn't a top 5 shooting guard scorer ever. That is special. James Harden has brought nobodies to the playoffs several times. This man lives for the playoffs. Now, this is where my whole issue kind of comes in with why I don't think James Harden's the best player in the NBA. My 2 issues with James Harden are, first off, defense. And I don't even have a problem with him defensively. I just don't think that he is an elite defender, which in my mind, I can't classify him as one of the best players in the NBA if you're not an elite defender. So my other issue with James Harden, and you'll see that both of these 2 issues are totally I mean, they're fine. My number two issue is playoff performance, which he has definitely been improving on, but you can go back and you look back, maybe 2017, maybe a few games in 2018 as well, where he didn't, have the best game. But when you're a player averaging 25 points per game for the last 8 years, if you do anything less than that, you're going to get ridiculed. So I don't think James Harden's a choker in the playoffs by any means. I just don't think James Harden has ever had the qualified help outside of Chris Paul, who, I mean, I love Chris Paul. I love Clint Capella. I love our 2018 squad. I believe if, obviously I'm one of those guys, if we were healthy, if Chris Paul doesn't go down, I truly believe we win the NBA Finals because it was just LeBron. The Warriors easily swept him. It was a very, very, very boring NBA Finals. He was very shorthanded. I just see James Harden and the Houston Rockets getting that series done. So playoff performance and defense are my only two issues with James Harden. Defense, it can be improved, which it has been getting improved. Playoff performance can be improved, which it has been getting improved. James Harden, if he wins one NBA championship, I guarantee you everybody forgets about bad playoff performances. Dirk Nowitzki even came out and said this. I guarantee you, this isn't his quote, this is just me. I guarantee you if James Harden wins an NBA Finals, it doesn't matter if it's this year, next year, the year after that, his playoff performance, it will never be remembered. It will be, wow, James Harden was one of the best scorers ever, and he won a ring, most likely a Finals MVP as well. James Harden last 2 seasons has averaged 34 points per game and 36 points per game. This is one of the best players on the planet. If you ask me, he is top 3, no doubt. In fact, I think you could make a very fair argument that he is number 2. However, Giannis, statistically has been just completely balling out the last couple of years. But who would I rather build around, James Harden or Giannis? I'm going to go James Harden. If you think James Harden's bad in the playoffs, I think Giannis is on a whole nother universe. I just truly believe that James Harden has never had full-on help to put together a coherent playoff run. The thing is obviously, look back to years where we had, pretty much just Dwight Howard. James Harden's our only lethal shooter, our only lethal scorer. Obviously, they're going to double team. Obviously, they're going to triple team, and he's going to have to look for other ways. Now, that's another reason I think James Harden is one of the best players in the NBA because he is such a lethal passer. D'Antoni's first season as head coach, James Harden averaged 11.2 assists per game. Only Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul have averaged higher assist numbers in a season than that. James Harden is not one-dimensional. I think we all know that. He is not a below-average defender. He's definitely an average, you could say slightly above average defender. I just think that one championship for James Harden solidifies his resume. There's no ifs, there's no buts, there's nothing. Oh, James Harden was a great player, but he never won. I don't want James Harden to be a Charles Barkley because James Harden's on a totally different planet than Charles Barkley. James Harden is one of the most special players in the NBA. You do not see players get double-teamed. You do not see players get double-teamed at half court especially. James Harden has been dealing with this for years. Doesn't matter if you triple-team James Harden, he can whip a pass across the court. So I think that James Harden and his 6'11" wingspan, even Coach Popovich only watches film on James Harden. Only player he watches specific film for is James Harden. This man is special. I think we can all agree that he's never had the proper pieces around him. I understand 2018, but we don't talk about 2018 because of the way it ended. We really had him. That was a great season. Just ended unfortunate. The cookie crumbles that way sometimes. So let me know if you guys like this segment. A little all over the place today because, I was just trying to get a quick video out before the game, before our live stream. But let me know if this is something you guys want to see a little bit more of. Obviously, a ton more research will go in. It won't just be pictures. It'll be clips. So, yeah.